all eternity.
I wrote the following suggestion to my bishop. Make Father Corapi's series on the Catechism mandatory for adult education in all of our parishes. And I said to the bishop, you should bring that suggestion up at the National Bishops' Meeting, that it should be used in all their parishes. Results. Parents would be taught how to catechize their children. And the country would be doing this, and they'd be doing this all at the same time. Results. Fathers of families would reclaim their position as the spiritual head of their families. Conclusion. Bishop wrote to me. And that's not a bishop in this diocese, by the way, I don't think. He wrote to me and he said that he couldn't do that. My question is, why not? Okay. Well, your point, I think, is well taken. I think it's logical. I think my series on the Catechism works. I know that by the fruits of it. Thousands and thousands of people have learned their Catholic faith as the result. I have had every denomination of Protestants. I have had Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims come into the Catholic Church having gone through that Catechism series. I know the fruits are good. It works, but I will say this. Your bishop is probably right. Although your point is well taken and logical, the bishop probably would have, today anyway, maybe in the future at some point he could do it, but today he'd have great difficulty doing that. What you are talking about is what we would describe in military terms as conventional warfare. So you want to do it through the channels, through the what we'd call the regular army. You know, you'd put it through the diocesan channels, make it a mandatory policy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, probably not. Nope, not going to happen. I have always been an exponent of something other than that. Unconventional warfare. You got conventional warfare and unconventional warfare. And here's what you do. Remember I said about one of General Colin Powell's points? He said, you don't know what you can get away with till you try it. And what he was saying, don't think you have to ask permission for every little thing you do. Matter of fact, a bishop told me one time, if you want to get anything done in the church, and he was dealing with me personally, he said, if you want to get something done in the church, do not go through channels. And he was talking about in his diocese. He said, do it. Do it in an unconventional way. You know, and so what I've done is I derived the course. I put it together. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just took the Catechism and went through it. Put it into the form of an audio and video course. And then families can take that, you know. Take the initiative. Remember, that's one of the elements of leadership. Seize the day. Take the initiative. And then maybe on Wednesday night, your family will watch 1 hour of that. And then maybe you'll invite one family to join you. And then maybe another family will heal around. And before you know it, you'll have 30 people watching 1 hour of the Catechism per week. And what you're doing is you're training the troops in an unconventional manner. And you're creating what we call a force multiplier. And that begins to spread. You know, you have more power than immediately meets the eye. And before you know it, hundreds and then thousands and then tens of thousands and then hundreds of thousands of Catholics and other folks too are benefiting from this. They're learning their faith. And then each one of them radiates the results, the fruits of that faith to those all around them. And before you know it, you're a force to be reckoned with. You've taught the faith. See, listen, when I'm on my deathbed, and I probably won't have a deathbed, Because when I was 6 years old and I knelt down to pray one night, the only spontaneous prayer I remember from my entire youth is one time I said, Lord, don't let me die like other men, sick and in bed. I want to go with my boots on. I've been watching some cowboy movies. You know, I want to die like a soldier in action. And you know, watch what you ask for, especially when you're young and you're innocent, because I'll tell you something, the prayers of children are very powerful. And in my, unsophisticated, immature little way, I was praying from the heart. When I'm about to die, the thing that's going to come to comfort me the most is teaching the faith, that I have pride. Oh, imperfectly, I know. I have a lot of defects. Imperfectly, but effectively. Tens of thousands of people. I got folks from 8 to 80 all over the world who have studied the faith and begun to learn it and become interested in it. And that's like fire. Remember Jesus said, I came to cast fire on the earth? Well, my job can't be any different than the master. Jesus said the servant is no better than his master. So what have I come to do? Cast fire on the earth. Now fire is contagious. It spreads. Fire gives off heat and light. The light is the light of truth, the proper object of the intellect. The heat, love. Love, the good, the proper object of the will. When you spread the faith that way, when you learn it and then radiate it, you are doing a great good for God. So do your part. Help me out on this. And before you know it, don't you think for a minute that your efforts aren't important. They are. Whether you're 8 or 80, lay person, priest, whatever, you are very important. Your place on the battle line is unique, and it's precious, and it's unrepeatable. Nobody can take your place because there is nobody like you. No one was ever like you, and nobody will ever be like you again. You are totally unique as a human being.